There we go. Oh, there we go.
Back to. Did you go through?
Yeah. Yep,
It's a really good resource now.
that would be great. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're still waiting for Joanne, huh? I see connecting to audio, but I don't hear her.
Jesus.
Hey, Jill.
Good morning. Sorry, I had another
That's,
phone call and meeting.
you mean like
crazy.
work?
Yeah, that's what they call it. Yeah.
Yes, well, we don't know too much about that.
Yeah, and I'm jealous. Very, very jealous on that.
Don't be.
So we're
I have to,
missing-
I have to look at my phone every day to see what day of the week it is and what the date
I know.
is.
I do too. My
So-
husband and I keep thinking it's a weekend and it isn't.
It's always a weekend for us.
That's actually a good thing, everybody. Better to be out of the rat race, and stress will kill you. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
you're better off.
How's it going at Pierce with COVID? Still
Okay.
good?
Yeah. We had 2 people. That was it.
Oh,
Two
Great. I'm gonna start if everybody's okay with that.
We
And
are.
it's, 'cause
Sounds
I think
good.
it's after 9. I'm not sure that, I haven't heard from Lynn's, but I don't see her yet. So we need a motion to accept the minutes.
Oh, Joanne's going over to Edith's house to get Edith on to the meeting because the caregiver can't.
Oh, okay.
All right, just so that you know. Okay,
Okay, so it's, if we're still on, because it's gonna be a short meeting.
yeah.
Jill, are you okay with taking minutes again?
Yeah, I'm just printing off something so I can follow along with you folks. So, should
Okay, so we
be
need a
good.
motion to accept the minutes.
I make a motion to accept
Okay,
the
so
minutes.
Maggie, and second,
I'll second.
Millie, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? No, okay.
Was Maggie and who?
It was
Millie?
Maggie and then Millie.
Millie, thank you. Thank you. Okay.
Okay, I spoke with Mark briefly this morning, and he's not able to come because he's got another meeting also. And Bernadette is sick from her COVID shot.
Oh,
She
I
just
guess.
had Yeah, she just got her second one and she is not great. So I have her update if you would like to hear that. It was for COVID. We called everyone 75 years of age and older and helped them schedule their vaccine appointments and transportation if needed. We are now currently working on ages 65 to 74. We acquired the names and numbers to our voter registration list and myseniorcenter.com. I have a team of 4 people working diligently on calling everyone to ask if they need help scheduling the vaccine and if transportation to and from is needed. Katie Wilk, Flo Pollock, Denise Parameter, and myself are working on the list. So that's the COVID. Food distribution, they've cut back significantly on the number of households they're delivering to. The main reason is that the residents are receiving their jobs back and their finances are back to normal. This is excellent news. Another reason is that our seniors have learned how to use Peapod or Instacart and are able to have their groceries delivered. We are now down to 67 residents. We were over 100 at one point.
Oh,
So that's
good.
67 is still a lot.
For this,
We are receiving farm to family boxes from the state every week. They are 44-pound boxes filled with milk, veggies, fruit, potatoes, meat, and other types of dairy. We're also receiving 40-pound boxes of non-perishable items for the Salvation Army once a month. This is bringing down the cost of food significantly. I'm also in the process of applying for the TEFAP program through Food Share to help restock our food pantry moving forward beyond COVID relief. This is something that will fall in social services department so Katie can help assist families and seniors in need with food. More information to come on this program, which is free to the town. On transportation, the program is running smoothly. We're operating Monday through Friday, 8 to 3. We're taking seniors to their COVID vaccine appointments, tax preparation appointments, doctors, shopping, etc. Opening the senior center. I would like to open the senior center to the public once seniors 65 and older receive their second vaccine. The tentative reopening date is May 1st through 15th. If this date needs to be pushed back to April 15th, I will do that. I want to make sure seniors are safe before bringing them into a public building. Very excited to reopen the senior center and have a place for everyone to visit. So that's Bernadette.
Hi, Joanne. Hello, Edith.
Hello,
And hi, Edith. And I just
Good.
got a message from Lynn that she wasn't able to get into the meeting.
Hmm. Oh.
So I'm not
You
sure
know
why.
what? Has it? We're finding that our internet is on and off, and my husband was in a Lions Club meeting recently, and one of the members, a dentist on Whitney, had to cut out because he lost all the connection. So I wonder if there's something happening. with all of this. Yeah. Plus, they want to increase the amount of money they receive for that.
Did you lose?
I don't know. Did I lose?
No,
No,
you're
you're,
here.
Oh,
You're here.
okay.
yeah, I wish Bernadette was here. Yesterday I went by the senior center. There was a lot of cars there.
We volunteered to deliver some of those meals. So, and
Oh.
that's Tuesday morning. There are some volunteers who put all the bags and the boxes together. And then there's Meals on Wheels that come in crates. And then we go later in the morning to pick those up and deliver them. So,
That
Yeah.
may have been, that
And
may have been-
and the Boy
Okay.
Scouts and the Leos, a number of the clubs of young people have been collecting a lot of the canned goods.
That was a little weird.
Sorry, that was me. I was logging on my mother's iPad at the
Hi,
same time,
Joanne.
trying to get her.
Joanne, I'm hoping you can stay for a minute.
Yep,
Can you?
I actually asked Margie if this was a public meeting because I was in the process of logging on at home. And so I had to come over because the iPad wouldn't work.
Well, we're glad to see you wherever you are. How's that?
Thank you.
Okay, so we're going to go on to senior housing. Mark said where they are at. They are getting a legal agreement written up with the
Ooh.
owners of the property that they think is okay to get permission to get perk tests. And if the perk tests come back okay, that it is buildable, he thinks at that point, and they've worked out a price that they can let us know where it is.
Oh, good. Yeah.
Wow, that is wonderful news.
So he said it's not, as he put it, he said it's not a perfect piece, but it's darn close.
Ooh,
I don't think
So-
you're gonna find
more
it.
than that.
So fingers are crossed, and I guess they'll have more information next month, hopefully. I'm not sure how fast they're gonna be able to do perk tests until the ground isn't frozen, but
Right.
go from there.
That's wonderful. Oh,
So, yeah, so then we could get very busy again.
there's also, I'm on this steering committee. I've talked about it before. And we meet the first Friday of every month, but now it's by Zoom. But the state, and I need to get more information, the state is receiving quite a bit of money from CMS, looking at increasing accessible and affordable housing. Also, let's see, proposals for infrastructure development. I'm trying to look at some of the things that were listed here. There. they're providing Connecticut with increased money for accessible, affordable housing initiatives. And there's a housing report that was due to come out shortly after the last meeting. So I'll have to find out about that. But they're going to be targeting working with homeless individuals, also older adults with increased support services and security for aging in place. And there's a veteran program for caregiver support where in other states, Connecticut doesn't allow this right now, but in other states, CMS allows spouses to be paid. So for a lot of people who may have given up work in order to take care of a spouse, that could be a really good support for them. And they're looking at a 12-week paid family leave with a pilot program to assist and support after the 12 weeks. So I'll try to see if I can get any more information, because that might be helpful if we get to that point for housing here, that we try to stay ahead of the direction that the state's going in.
And what committee is this, Maggie?
It's a rebalancing, Medicare, Medicaid. I don't, it's a long name and I just call it the steering committee.
Okay, but CMS is the one that's going to do the.
Well, some of it is being worked with through UConn. This committee has had UConn doing a lot of studies for us over many years. And that's one of the reasons Connecticut has been cited and keeps getting additional money from CMS, because in the past, a lot of grants, the states will say, oh, we're doing this, this, and this, but there's no backup or evaluation to see what's working or what isn't working. So, and Connecticut was just recognized it wasn't CMS, but a different group, as far as our efforts to start providing more affordable and accessible supports and services.
Thank you.
Maggie, what does CMS stand for? Or is that the one?
Centers for Medicare, Medicaid Services, I
Okay.
believe.
Yes, you're right, Maggie.
Good, thank you. Good information. Okay. Excuse me, Joanne,
Yes.
could you tell us about the Columbia Cares? Because I saw your post on Facebook, but I'm not sure everybody's aware of this new venture, which you've been talking about and your mom's been talking about for a long time. So this is very exciting.
It is. Michelle Puzos lives in Manchester and she started this a few years ago. She's I think a physical therapist, and she's worked in, she's out in the community. So she saw the need. She's got it in almost 100 towns now in Connecticut. And I volunteered about 1.5 years ago. So it's a very, very easy system. And it's really intended for people, elderly. You really don't have to be elderly, it could be me who needs some help in doing something, and I post a deed. What happens is, as a volunteer, you get an email. You sign up as a volunteer, and I just posted the instructions this morning on Facebook, and I'm going to print them up and try to get them out in the community somehow, in the newsletters. But you go on the site and you volunteer, you sign up. They do a complete background check, takes a couple of days, and then you get an email that you are accepted as a volunteer for your community cares. And you get emails when if people have a deed they need done, they would contact me and I would post the details of that deed and put it on the site. And an email goes out to everyone who volunteers, and they can read about it and accept to do it or not. And sometimes people just need help with very simple things, with a computer issue or mail or understanding how to sign up to get a vaccine, or they need somebody needed someone to put some exercise equipment together, or shoveling, or they're in rehab and they just came home to, from surgery or something. They need some help doing whatever, it ranges. But there's no assigning of duties or volunteer responsibilities. You accept the deed if you choose to. My
great.
bigger, it could work really well. My bigger
Right.
concern is how to get people signed up to ask for assistance, more
Right.
so than people to volunteer.
Right.
That's the harder part.
Could that be
What is
done,
that site,
Katie?
Joanne?
Sorry.
I'm gonna go. Could that be done through Katie Wilt, who's the town social worker?
It could be. I spoke to her a month ago and told her about this program, asked her to look into it. I've brought it to the selectmen a couple of times over the last year, and nobody took the ball and ran with it. So basically I said, screw it, I'm gonna do it. Yeah, it could be. I've offered Katie all kinds of assistance of time or whatever. She knows where I am. I think it's more people connected to people in town. I've had a couple people say to me, oh, I know someone who could use some help with shoveling, or I know someone who could use someone to just check in on them. That's, I think, more so how I'm going to get
Right.
people. I absolutely will email Katie and tell her. I hope she saw it on the Columbia page. I don't know.
Is it a little bit like, there's something else that I just got, Columbia Neighbors or something, where people can connect in that way? I got something in the mail and then I signed up for it. It's not just in Columbia though. It sounds like there were postings from people up in Mansfield and other places along with Columbia, but it does something similar to what you're talking about, I think.
I thought that was more informational.
Maybe
I
it
think
is.
so too.
Yeah, like, I don't know, an alert goes out or something. It's shared through there.
Yeah.
I don't
that
know.
could be. And I wonder if, remember, maybe it's changed, but Bernadette had said that they had called a lot of older adults in town about the COVID vaccination. And it seemed as though a number of people did not want to do that. And I was wondering if that had changed at all, but she's not here to.
I don't know. Joanne, so let's go back to what you're proposing here, which I think is a great idea personally. What can we do as a commission to help? Because I think that's where
Get the word.
we could come in and be helpful.
Right. I think initially getting the word out, I do a little blurb in the town newsletter for the fire department every month. So I'm going to see if they'll put something in the newsletter about Columbia Cares.
You
And
need to also do it as we discussed. We got to get it in the senior newsletter,
The senior
Yeah.
newsletter
and also the Columbia Views.
and the Lions Club.
Yeah.
But are you going to be running point then as another major thing that you're doing? Like,
Well, I really only run point for the incoming requests from people, and I post them. And then people connect themselves to the deed. I don't have to organize people doing it. I just have to post the information about the actual request for assistance.
so would you be giving people your email address or phone number, or how would you do that? I guess,
I put my home phone on the Facebook notification.
Okay,
And certainly I can post my email too, but again, most seniors don't
Right.
use,
it's gonna be phone.
yeah,
Right.
see it on Facebook. That's part of it.
Right.
In
Yeah,
normal.
I'm a
life-
senior and I use a computer.
Well, you're an exception.
You're a young senior.
Sure.
But I as you know, as a member of the fire department, I see a lot of stuff in town. So I'm not opposed to having flyers in my clipboard when I go on calls and just leaving one there. And I asked the social worker, Katie, about having business cards. And she said 6 weeks ago, she didn't have any. And I said, well, you need to get some because you need to get out there and, you know, let people know who you are and what you do. And anyway, I'm a little dismayed in that
Have they
respect.
given her a budget though to do that? Does she have money to do that?
Hi, it's Jen.
But
She
I'd be
does
more than-
have a business card.
She does have one now?
Yep.
Excellent, excellent.
Oh,
So
good.
I think somehow she needs to get her name out there. You know,
You know, I'm
I
wondering,
requested the Facebook page, and she was concerned about being inundated with calls. And I said, that's your job. So I'm hoping she gets out there a little bit more. But I will email her about Columbia Cares and see if she has any.
you know,
Well,
what
here-
would be helpful, is to have her, if she can kind of keep some sort of record of her hours and what she's doing, because I have even when they announced that she's only part-time, 2 days a week.
Right, that's what I was
And-
gonna say. She doesn't
Yeah.
have a lot of hours.
But they
Yeah.
increased her,
And
they
they keep-
increased her hours.
They
Oh, they
increased her
did?
hours and they increased what they're expecting her to do also on behalf of the town with
Yeah.
between COVID and all the food and all of the stuff that she's doing.
Yeah,
So, you know, I think trying to give her a little bit of leeway on this in that it's a new position. They keep throwing things at her. There's a limited amount of time. And I think she'll come into it. And I do think it's important. So maybe that could be from Mark. I wish Mark was here at this point and just say, you know, look, this has to be a focus also. So do we need to go to the Board of Selectmen or Board of Finance and try and get more hours for her?
right.
So she can start doing more of these things.
Or asking, you know, or using resources in town that she can use to
Right.
offer her some assistance in these matters. I mean, you know, I know that I've gotten a call from the senior center asking me if I knew anybody who could help an elderly couple in town a few weeks ago, and I made some calls, and I don't know that Katie is involved in that aspect or not, keeping names and numbers of people and reference kinds of, yeah, I have someone who could do that. Or yeah, I have someone who could do this. I know it is at the senior center. I don't know. I don't know.
So Jen, would you pass along that to Mark? I guess.
Yes, I will.
Okay.
You know, I wonder, years ago when I was director of McSweeney Center, we used to sponsor a monthly meeting. It was between a lot of service providers in the area, like visiting nurses and town, even some of the hospitals had people that would come. And they would discuss, without naming people or giving any personal information, but discuss unusual cases that they had it was kind of a brainstorming thing as to what other resources or how it could be handled. I wonder if something like that in town would be helpful. I don't know. I'll have to think on that.
Well, I'm gonna go back to Joanne. So from our perspective, for the Commission on Aging, other than us personally reaching out to people that we know and giving them information, what else can we do to support? I mean, I think asking Mark to certainly talk with Katie about fitting this is one of her responsibilities, and is it feasible given the hours that she has, and that there are concerns, that we have concerns, that we think that this is important.
And I don't think it has to be one of her responsibilities, because there really isn't anything for her to do except pass on names
Correct.
of people, yeah, that she knows could benefit from this.
Okay.
I think if we can, Bernadette was gonna send me a list of people to call for the next round of vaccines, and I have a meeting with her on Friday on something else, and I will ask her. I mean, I'll get it in the newsletter for sure, Becca's newsletter. But maybe she can tell Margaret when people call and are looking for these kinds of services to send them my way.
Yeah.
I
Yep.
think word of mouth.
And it used to be when the center was open to the public, they would post people who were willing to do yard work or whatever. So again, once the center opens up again for some of the older people who don't have the ability or access to a computer and that sort of thing, that might be something that we could post too.
Well, the
Right.
other thing is there's a lot of people in town who are seniors who don't go to the senior center or
Right.
don't belong to the senior center. So how are you going to get in contact, or get the information to those people? Because I
Right.
mean, they may need assistance even though they don't go to the senior center.
Right.
I'd like to get it on a mailing, like when they do that annual mailing for beach passes. We tried to get the fire
That's a good
department
idea.
there for signs, for house signs, to get
Yeah.
that on there. And I put the File of Life in the town newsletter, but I'll put it in the Beckish Senior Center newsletter too, so people have a copy of File of Life to fill out and keep on their
Right.
refrigerators or handy. But I think for most seniors, hard copy is really the way they're gonna receive something at this point.
Right. I think you're right. And that
Yeah.
Columbia Views, you said you were going to do something, and everyone gets that. Although
Yeah.
It
we
just
weren't
came
sure
out.
how many people you read it all the time.
Yeah.
Right.
And it just came out too, so it won't come out for
Yeah.
another 3 months.
Yeah, and I'm limited in space. They limit you, right, Jen? That's the one that's limited to like 350 words, so
Yes, yeah,
hard to smush your thoughts into.
I know.
Well, you know what you could do, as far as I'm concerned, if everybody's agreeable, our 350 words at that point could be from the Commission on Aging, putting that information out. So that would then be our 350 words, not the fire department 350 words.
Oh, yeah, I couldn't put it under the fire department anyway. I'd have to put it under my own Columbia Cares thing, but yeah, Jennifer's been very helpful in working out the words. So yeah, I think hard copy is really the way to do
I
it.
agree. Yeah. Yeah.
Joanne, if you got a hard copy to us, like I could get a hard copy over to the Congregational Church.
Mhm.
And soon we will be starting again and go in, a couple hard copies can be in people's bulletins. They can have some at the church. So
Library.
we'll see that. Yep, library.
I'm happy to do that. Michelle sent me some, polished stuff, brochures and info sheets, so I'm happy I will email those over to you.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
How about even reaching out to like a few local doctors and getting that information into doctors' offices? 'Cause we will open up sooner or later.
Right.
Then you get people, not just Columbia though, because there aren't any doctors in Columbia.
No, but like the doctors in Hebron, there's, general practitioners in Hebron, there's general practitioners in Mansfield that some Columbia people might go to. But wouldn't this also reference the broader organization that you said is in several different towns?
It would.
Yeah, so it wouldn't be just,
Okay.
Right.
But their towns would have to participate as well, like Mansfield
Right.
would have to be part of it.
right.
Excuse me.
Because wait a minute, because I just kind of entered and figured out how to do this again. Could you just quickly tell me what the subject is?
It's the Columbia Cares initiative that Joanne had put out in Facebook, and it's for signing up for services that you need help with, basically,
Thank you.
and matching people that are willing to do it.
Oh, that
And
sounds good.
Lynn, you would be interested because Joanne said it was started by a Manchester physical therapist.
Oh, great.
I thought of you and I was like, oh, too bad Lynn's not on.
Does anyone else have anything that they want to add into the other? Anything else we need to talk about? Okay, then I guess we're gonna
Exciting.
have,
Exciting
gonna
about
have-
the housing.
it is. Fingers crossed.
Oh,
A motion-
quick, could you
Yeah.
tell me that?
Well, we don't, they have a piece that they're getting permission, a legal document to get permission to do perk tests on.
Oh, great, great.
So, but we don't know it, we won't know until the perk tests come back. If it's viable, then they can let us know and we go get started.
Super. Thank you. Sorry, I'm so late. This has been a nightmare with these computers.
Yeah, well, life in the fast lane. Can we have a motion to adjourn then, please?
Make a motion to adjourn.
And
I
second, who is second?
I can second. Maggie?
Maggie, okay, and
Mar-
all in favor,
Margie and Maggie.
Margie and Maggie. Any discussion? Nope. All in favor?
Favor.
Aye.
Okay, and what time is it? Because I don't have a clock next to me.
9:33.
Thank you.
Good job.
Hey, Kathy,
Yes,
Michelle just was texting me about something else, but she said she did a presentation for the Granby Commission on Aging, and she would be more than happy to do it in the future if you guys would like her to show up at a meeting.
Oh,
that would be great.
Yeah.